Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Hi everyone. I'm really extremely happy today because we have a student here with us who will talk about her experience during our transition class that we started at the end of March due to the coronavirus. And I feel it's really very, very courageous of hers because, this is something new also probably for her. And she has immediately said, I want to spread the word about School Beyond Limitations. And I would like to welcome Marie to this interview. And thank you, Marie, for making space and for being ready to actually tell the world out there about your experience at School Beyond Limitations. Welcome, Marie.
Hello.
Hi. So, Marie, first of all, you are now in your school, back to school, right? School has started again, and you experienced School Beyond Limitations for 4 weeks, right? When there was this break. What made you decide to actually do that, although you had a lot of assignments, a lot to do from your real school? I mean, I don't want to say that this is not a real school, School Beyond Limitations, but actually you do both. You did both, right? So what was the reason for you to attend for 4 weeks School Beyond Limitations?
I want to do something new and to do something what maybe can inspire or fascinate me. And it really did. And I want to do that because I'm searching for another way of learning and another way of school. So, yes, I want to test it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can decide if it fits or not.
Okay, well, you said a number of things now that you were kind of fascinated by something innovative, right? You wanted to test it out, you wanted to find whether there's something else to learning. What did you find out throughout those 4 weeks? Were you kind of, let's say, did you have any expectations to start with, or were you just open for something new? How was it?
I was very open for it and I don't think before much. So, yes, I say what happened, happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the best way to join into it. But my experience are very positive because I don't just learn something about the topics I can choose. I learn a lot about me and about motivations for learning.
Mm. Can you make maybe an example?
From my topics or from the motivations?
Whatever comes to you, whatever feels, you know.
I think it's a very big motivation for learning when you understand that you are learning for yourself
Mhm.
and that you can choose topics who interest you and you want to learn something more about it. And when you share it with others, you see that everything can be interesting or has a positive thing and is useful for you too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that everything is right or everything is important for you, but then you think about it and then you can always say, no, I don't like it because, but there you have the room to discuss and to learn something about you and yourself.
Mm-hmm. So you actually saying that by having this exchange with the others and also by talking about your own subjects. That is also done by the others, and this exchange helps you to broaden your knowledge, and that motivates you even more because you see somehow the inspiration that comes, or the enthusiasm that comes out from your peers. Is that what you are also, what you wanted to say? Excellent.
And
Great.
you can learning with each other and from each other.
Mm-hmm. How did that actually work during those lessons? Because, you know, it's such a broad thing, but maybe you could make an example or just talk about your experience. What exactly did you do that you could actually kind of jump into this learning culture where you had the perception that you learned from one another so much?
I think it was that everyone has the me time, so you can think about your topic and find out something new, but you have always the chance to talk with others or work in a group or with your teacher
Mm-hmm.
when you need help. Or but this time was very important for me, so I can reflect my own topic, which I can share with the others. And sometimes it don't have to be much or complicated, just that you can talk with the others. I think that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think is it so important?
Because everyone has his own perspective and his own story, and you can change the perspective when you are talking about something, and not just the perspective. Sometimes you you learn more about something or someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes I think, oh, it was so stupid
Mm-hmm.
how I think about it, because it's useful and important for me too,
Mm-hmm.
and I never know that.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that you actually become even more open by just giving space to other people's perspectives, and
Yes.
also by integrating different notions, because the notions are coming from different channels, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued a little bit about your experience because you've been part of a group of 5 people, right? And and you have never met personally, right? You came from different places, or not all over the Europe, but mainly from German-speaking countries. But how did you perceive that, not being in, you know, a physical classroom, just meeting people you have never met before online? And what was that?
In our first lesson, I was really a little bit shocked because I was the only girl, and I was the oldest, and I think, oh, but then I think it was very nice because we see each other, so you have the feeling that you know and can work with them, and yeah.
I remember
I
that.
don't. I had after 1 week or 2 weeks we worked together. I think everyone from us has the feeling that we are a group. So you don't have the feeling that you are alone. I don't know. You have more. You are more connected with them as in a normal class.
Wow, and that's astonishing, right? Because I remember that at the end of the 4 weeks, you actually told me, I felt so connected with them, although we are not in the same physical classroom, right? And it feels even more, as you were saying just right now, it even feels more connected than sometimes with classmates that I see nearly on a daily basis in a physical class. What do you think? That's quite astonishing, isn't it?
Mhm.
So what do you think why does that happen in your view, from your point of view?
I think because everyone has different motivations and we can talk about it and we do tasks together and alone and we share it and then we listen to each other and we can see us. I think that's important that we can see us online, but we see us.
Mhm.
And so you can see the feelings from a person too.
Mhm.
I think
Well, mhm.
important.
That sounds very interesting. I'm wondering how many students are there in a classroom currently? How many students do you are in your class context at the moment?
21,
21.
but we don't. But there we have what I want to say. There we have all just one topic from our teacher, and we learn all the same. But here everyone has his own, and we learn more about them with the choose of the own topics.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you see what interests the person or what inspired the person maybe too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And with regards to school beyond limitations, I mean, you were 5, and we don't go further than 8 students. How do you perceive that as a student? Is that good to have such a small size of class, or how do you perceive that, and how did you experience it, to having such a small group of people coming together?
I think that's positive because with more persons you don't have the chance that everyone can say what you want or can share everything because from 9 to 12 is not so much time
Mm-hmm.
because it's just 3 hours. But I think that can just work in such a system. Yes, because with when it with more than 8 persons, I think that would be too much because you can't see you just online, and so it would. I think you don't have the overview then,
Mm-hmm.
and don't can concentrate or to listen carefully to each other and
Mm-hmm.
work together.
So you're actually saying that this aspect of listening, sharing, talking, discussing, and looking into the different perspectives of people, that has been extremely valuable to for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What what else were highlights did you value the most while you spent those 4 weeks with us?
Mm, I think one of my highlights was that we have a very nice teacher, and yes, she was every time there for us, and she was really interested that we are feel well, and I don't know it from normal school like this. And I think the other highlight is that you are connected with the others, not just during the lessons. We had a WhatsApp group and we can always write or talking.
You had a very active WhatsApp group, right?
Yes.
And that leads me to ask you something else, because before you were mentioning actually you only have 3 hours of school in the morning, right? You only had that from 9 to 12. Did the learning stop then, or did you actually still continue the learning that you started in the morning and brought it into the afternoon and into the evening? How was that?
No, in the end of the lesson, we give ourselves a task that we do for tomorrow. That can be something about your topic, or maybe a new topic, or something for yourself, or something creative. I don't know, whatever you want. But important is that it's something positive and you can share it with the others.
Mm-hmm. And you shared that the day after, right?
Yes.
And what was your experience with regards to the composition of the class? Because you were the eldest, you were saying before, in a class of 5, where the youngest was 10, if I'm not mistaken, right? So 10 up to you, right? 16. So how did that feel, and which kind of experience was that for you? It's very unusual, right? In normal schools, this doesn't happen.
I know it's unusual, but I like that because so the others in another age, you see some aspects different than I think the youngest see something other than I to the same topic. And the change in perspective was interesting, and it really works because we can help each other and learn from each other too.
Mm-hmm. What have you, if you had to say now, let's say 3 things that you have learned in those 4 weeks, what would you say?
About myself and my way to use words and feelings, about to be opener to everything and everyone. And my topic was Hemingway and his life and his work, and I learned a lot about it.
Excellent. And if there are people out there who listen to you now, yeah, what would you say to these people? Is learning boring, or is learning fun? Is learning creative? What would you say about learning at School Beyond Limitations, for instance? What's your opinion?
I think learning is the only way for development, and yeah, I think you have to find your motivation about learning, and the motivation in this school is because you understand you are learning for yourself and for your own development. So I think that learning is the best thing we can do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're saying it's you learn at School Beyond Limitations that it is your choice whether you learn or not, and you develop this kind of motivation in yourself again. How did you perceive and experience the aspect of not being graded, of not of not getting any grades for your work? Because we didn't give grades, right? Or we don't give grades. It's a different kind of assessment. How did you experience this, and what's your opinion about that?
I like that because so it's more space, and you think about more about your work, because when you do something, you want to do it good, so you do it from your own. You do it alone. It happens alone, and it's good too because you don't have it's not a must. You don't have to do it, but you can. And
So you're saying it's your free choice.
yes, and it shows that not everything that it's not you can't compare it, and nobody compares you with others. Because everyone is unique, and I think it's hard to compare, and the work too.
And did you get this impression that you were treated as a unique person, and all the others as well?
Yes.
Wow.
Because you can say what you think, and when sometimes we are talking about the topic and want to do something about it, and then I don't know, it happens often that we are talking about something other, and so you can talk about yourself and your interests, and the others too, of course.
Excellent. If you were to describe School Beyond Limitations, let's say with 3-4 words or 3-4 sentences, how would you describe School Beyond Limitations? As it comes, freely.
School Beyond Limitations gives you space to learn and to find your own motivation. And I don't know the word, but I try to describe it. And you can reflect and think about yourself and your work. And when you understand that you learn for yourself, you see that you have the choice, that you have the choice, and you can choose your own development, and that gives you School Beyond Limitations.
Wow, that's powerful. Well, Marie, I would like to leave it with this, and I think School Beyond Limitations embraces wonderful students like Marie, and I would like to emphasize again that Marie is coming from a different language background, and she learned English in school a little bit, right? And it's her first time that you are actually doing an interview in English. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I think this is astonishing. This is really extraordinary. And I would like to thank you, Marie, for your time and for your openness to actually share with the world what your experience was. Thank you so much for being with us. And I wish you all the best. And of course, we at School Beyond Limitations, we are waiting for you, not only for 4 weeks. All right, then. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here, Marie.
Thank you, too.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.